Good day, everyone. I'm Sundetova Nurgul Stabayevna, an English teacher in Janakala School Gymnasium. Now I want to present my lesson presentation. The theme of my lesson is Comparative Adjectives for the 6th grade, Unit 8, Our Neighborhood. This lesson suggested for 4 learning objectives from the subject program. 6. Content 1. Use speaking and listening skills to solve problems creatively and cooperatively in groups. 6. Speaking 7. Use appropriate subject-specific vocabulary and syntax to talk about a limited range of general and curricular topics. 6. Writing 3. Write with support factual descriptions at text level, which describe people, places, and objects. 6. Use of English 2. Use quantifiers many, much, a lot of, a few, on a limited range of familiar, general, and curricular topics. According to these learning objectives, I adapted lesson objectives. All learners will be able to identify the theme, new words, and use them as a basis for discussion. Demonstrate knowledge for usage of comparison of adjectives. Most learners will be able to select, compile, and synthesize information for an oral presentation. Make comparative forms of the adjectives. Some learners will be able to respond to and discuss the reading passage using interpretive, evaluative, and creative thinking skills. Compare things using comparative form. At the beginning of the lesson, to create a positive, sociable learning atmosphere, I applied the game compliment. In this game, learners said compliments each other, such as "you are nice," "you are kind," etc. And they answered to the questions: what kind of person are you? Who is cleverer than you? Or who is taller than Akan? In brainstorming, I showed these pictures to predict the topic of the lesson. Learners identified the topic and named pictures. For example, big apple, small apple. Or this apple is bigger than that apple. Then I explained the new theme. Comparative adjectives used to compare two things. If the adjective consists of one syllable, we add suffix er. For example, tall, taller. If the adjective consists of 2 syllables and ending in y, y changes to I. For example, happy, happier. And if the adjective consists of 2 or more syllables, we add the word more before the adjective. For example, beautiful, more beautiful. In comparative sentences, we use the word than after adjective. It is translated into Kazakh as salstırganda. To check learners' understanding, I gave them pictures and adjectives. They gave examples. For example, The plane is faster than train. The car more expensive than bicycle. The t-shirt is dirtier than shorts. The school is farther than shop. To give an opportunity to achieve learning, I used the method differentiation by outcomes and by tasks. Differentiation by outcomes means that different results are expected and acceptable for different learners on the same task or assignment. For example, I set an assignment, but learners may arrive at different results depending on their level of ability and interest. Learners worked with book and they did exercise 2 at page number 97. After they listened and checked their work, assessed themselves by table. From 0 to 3 points, the first group for less able students, and from 4 to 6 points, the second group for middle able students. From 7 to 8 points, the third group for more able students. But I didn't say them that less able, middle able or more able students. I said the first group, the second group, the third group. Differentiation by tasks. These tasks are set according to learners' abilities. Less able students read the given adjectives and wrote the correct comparative form. Middle able students wrote sentences using the comparative form of suitable adjectives. More able students read the description of 2 towns and wrote sentences about 2 towns using comparative form of adjectives. In post writing, I gave formative tasks. Learners did individually. They completed each sentence so that it means the same as the first sentence and used the comparative form of the adjectives in brackets. In conclusion, learners looked at the photos of Almaty and Nur Sultan and gave their own opinions about these cities. At the end of the lesson, learners evaluated themselves by the self-evaluation sheet, putting ticks on the table and reflected on their learning, sending smiles to the chat. This way. I want to finish my presentation with this phrase: the roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.